So I'm not like super duper surprised that this channel is growing really fast because it's what God told me to do. And if God tells you to do something, then He's going to put His hand on it. So it is growing really fast. I'm getting a lot of comments, and I can't answer them all, but I'll answer some of them as I can. Like, I'm a single mom and I have a boatload of kids, so it's not that easy to juggle work and kids and a YouTube channel. So I've had to take long breaks from YouTube, but I'm back after my recent baby. She's 8 months old and she's premature. Thank God she's sleeping right now, but that might not last long. So I'll try to answer questions as fast as I can. I signed up for the military after 9/11 because I had never really heard about Muslims until 9/11. A lot of Americans didn't know much about Muslims. So after 9/11 happened and all the Americans were killed in the building and the towers, I signed up for the military because I was coming kind of still in high school, but on my way out of high school. And I had to figure out something to do with my life, anyways. And it just happened that 9/11 happened, and I decided I'm going to sign up for the military. And at the time, I thought that was the best way to deal with Islam and them attacking Americans. But after going into the army, being somebody who was a woman and blonde, there was a lot of sexual harassment there. And I had a counselor at the time, and they said, this is just not a good environment for you, considering you've gone through abuse growing up. You don't need to be in this environment. So I was able to leave after almost 2 years in the military, but I almost was sent to Iraq. And luckily that didn't happen. But then later on, I became a Christian, and I used to be an atheist. So I went from atheist to Christian. And then God kind of reminded me and said, remember when you signed up for the military because of 9/11? And that's, I want you to fight Islam, but not physically. I want you to fight it spiritually. So I've done a lot of research into Islam, and I've read the Quran, and I've read the Hadith, and I even went and lived among the Muslims. And it was kind of one step at a time. It wasn't something where I just made a rash decision and jumped into it. At first, I became a Christian and started witnessing to everybody, like all sorts of people. And then I kept running into Muslim people more and more and more. And they were asking me more questions about Christianity, and some of them were asking for help with their abusive marriages. So I ended up befriending Muslim women and helping them with their very difficult abusive marriages. And the more that I saw what was happening, the more like interested I became in helping Muslim women mostly. I mean, Muslim men are kind of, there's a lot of narcissists there, so it's kind of hopeless with some of them, but Muslim women, I'm interested in helping them to deal with their very difficult circumstances. I've had, almost as bad situation as a lot of them, but not as bad. And I can't imagine the stuff that they have to deal with every day. Their husbands, a lot of them are cheating on them, hitting them, treating them horrible. Some of them will go over to another country and be sleeping with other women and then just come back whenever they feel like it. It's not like a real marriage. It's not a real family. The kids are getting the shaft as far as a husband and a father, and the women are getting the shaft too. So it's really a sad situation. So I've tried to help the Muslim women as much as I can. And when I lived in Dearborn, there were a few times when I found Muslim women on the side of the road, like begging for money with their kids in the full garb, because their husband had thrown them out when they were upset that their husband was cheating on them. So I've showed them how to get resources and, go to a women's shelter that can help them and file divorce, and how to start getting into the workforce, which is not easy when you're a single mom and you have kids like I'm experiencing now. It's definitely not easy. It's very difficult to do it all, but you can do it. You have to do it. It's not like you have a choice. But I've helped several Muslim women to get out of really toxic marriages to really, I think, narcissistic Muslim men that were cheating on them like constantly and treating them like complete garbage. So I don't have a lack of knowledge of Islam that's making me not want to be a Muslim. I have too much knowledge of Islam. That's why I don't want to be a Muslim, because I've seen how the Muslim women are treated, and it's horrible. It's worse than most Christian and American women are treated. So why would anybody sign up for that? Sign up for a guy who cheats on you and goes to the strip club. I'm not that. And most American Christian women wouldn't be interested in that. Sorry. You know, I've had too much experience with Islam and Muslims to know what it's all about. And it's very sad that these men aren't taught to treat their wife right and to respect one woman and love one woman so that they can be a good father and husband. It's a really sad situation. So, there's some comments where they say, oh, you just need to learn more about Islam. I've seen enough to know how bad it is. There's nothing more I could learn at this point. I've read what Aisha has to say. I've read what Muhammad has to say. I've read all about it. And I've seen in person the fruit of Islam. And Jesus says a good tree brings forth good fruit. If Islam was the truth, don't you think the families would be really happy? Don't you think women would be glad to be in polygamous marriage and just really happy in this situation? You're going to be hard pressed to find a woman who wants to sign up for this polygamous marriage and treated like garbage. And the Quran even gives the men permission to actually hit their wife, and you'll be hard pressed to find a woman who wants to be treated that way. So if this was the truth and this was the true God, don't you think women would want to be treated this way? So I've read the Quran and, studied Islam extensively, and I've lived among the Muslims, and I've seen what it has to offer, and it just doesn't have anything to offer. It's like somebody trying to sell you a car that has no transmission and a broken engine. Sorry, I'm just not interested. I've tried to drive that car. It doesn't drive. It just doesn't make people happy. There's no guarantee of heaven, and it just doesn't offer the peace that it claims to offer, where Jesus is the Prince of Peace, and he offers true peace. He says, peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. So he gives us real peace, not like Islam, where it's fake, not really peace at all. But a lot of the Muslims are saying in the comments, how can one God be three? How can three be one? But we have a mind, we have a body, and we have a soul. And we're a triune being. Every person is a triune being. So you can tell that there's a triune trinity within you. And the fact that there's a trinity within you and you're made in the image of God means that God has a triune being too. So it's not that hard to figure out. I mean, it's not really that complicated.